Hello. Now we are going to discuss some topics which are like starting points. So that is environment. So the remaining part we should have to be there's a economy has been completed. Now we are going to go for environment. Yeah. So first of all, we are going to start with environment. So now we are going to start, but from where this we discussed in morning. Yeah, from here. So Kasturi Rangan Committee in Western Ghats on December 4, Karnataka Chief Minister informed the centre that the state is opposed to the Kasturi Rangan Committee report on Western Ghats. He said that declaring Western Ghats as ecologically sensitive zone would adversely affect livelihood of the people. However, the expert called the state opposition disastrous for ecologically fragile Western Ghats. So the Kasturi Rangan committee reports 37% of total area of Western Ghat, which is roughly 60,000 square kilometer, to be declared eco-sensitive area. Out of this, 2668 square kilometer of area falls in Karnataka. The reports recommended a blanket ban on mining, quarrying, setting up of red category industries and thermal power project. It also stated that the impact of infrastructural project on the forest and wildlife should be studied. Permission is given for this activity. It also stated that the UNESCO heritage stake is an opportunity of build global and domestic recognition of enormous natural wealth. So the 39 sites are located across the Western Ghat and distributed across the state Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. The boundary of sites are is most cases boundary of legally demarcated national park, wildlife, tiger reserve and forest. Therefore, already accorded with high level of protection. The eco-sensitive area mapping and demarcation done by committee indicates that all sites are within the area. The state government should view this development and build a plan to protect, conserve and value the resources and opportunity of the region. The state of Karnataka has highest percentage of 46%. Why have the successive government in Karnataka rejected its report? The state government believed that implementation of report will halt the developmental activity. The government has stated that Karnataka has the distinction of being one of the state with extensive forest cover and the government has taken care to protect the biodiversity of Western Ghat. The Kasturirangan report have been prepared based on the satellite image, but the ground reality is different. People of region have adopted agriculture and horticulture activity in an eco-sensitive friendly manner. Priority have been accorded for environment protection under the Forest Protection Act. In this background, bringing one more law that would affect the livelihood of the local people is not appropriate. The union government since has issued several draft notifications to the Karnataka government to finalize the eco-sensitive area in the Western Ghat, but the government has been firm in rejecting the implementation of the report. What impact will the non-implementation of the report have on the Western Ghat? The considering the changes in climate, landslide, flood, drought, increasing temperature, which would affect the livelihood of the people and hurt the nation's economy. It is prudent to conserve the fragile ecosystem. Experts suggest the government to accept and implement the reports. World are in though extreme climate events which are impacting nature and people, yet the government continue to object valued suggestion. If the government truly cares for the welfare 22 crore people who are sustained by the Western Ghat, it could would accept at least 85% of the recommendation of Kasturi Rangan committee, else it would be the reason for the suffering of the people. So what is the present state of the Karnataka? While there is a growing concern over the forest encroachment in Karnataka, the state government has planned to further shrink the deemed forest area. In the order dated 96 of Supreme Court of India writ petition in Godavarman Thirumulpad versus Union of India, the term forest as per dictionary meaning and the forest recorded in government record were to be included in the broad definition of forest along with notified forest for consideration of any diversion proposed under the Forest Act. The state expert committee had identified hectare deemed forest area which over the year were shrunk by successive government. Environment impact assessment sustainable development goal. The push of zero budget natural farming. This question is very important. Okay, zero budget natural farming is back to top of government agriculture agenda with Prime Minister Narendra Modi set to highlight it in national conclave in Gujarat. So the center has sanctioned support for converting 4 lakh additional hectare of cropland in 8 states to using this. This is meant to provide a showcase for their benefits, scientific study on the methods. Zero budget natural farming, the method of chemical free agriculture. Subhash Palekar, who developed it in the mid 1990 and as an alternative to green revolution method, he argued that the rising cost of this external input was leading cause of indebtedness and suicides, while the impact of chemical on the environment and the long-term fertility was devastating. Without the needs of spend money on the inputs or take loans to buy them, the cost of production could be reduced and farming made into the zero budget. Exercise breaking the debt cycle. So the 4 wheels are Jivamrita, Bijamrita, mulching and Vipsa. So Jivamrita, Bijamrita, mulching and Vipasa is the says the Paleka. Jivamrita is a mixture of fresh cow dung and cow urine, jaggeries, pulses. This is Jiva Amrita, okay, and nutrient to the soil and act as a catalyst agent to promote the activity of microorganism and earthworm. About 200 liters of Jiva Amrita should be sprayed twice a month per acre, and only one cow is needed 13-acre land, according to Mr. Palekar. Bija Amrita is the mix of desi cow dung and urine, water, and burnt soil, lime. So Jiva Amrita is the jaggery, water, soil, and floor, and Bija Amrita is cow dung, urine, and water, and burnt soil. And mulching is covering the plants with a layer of dried straw or fallen leaves is meant to conserve soil and keep the temperature around 25 to 32. And Vipasa is it is providing water to maintain the required moisture air balance, also achieve the same objective. So the Mr. Palekar is against vermicomposting, which is the mainstay of typical organic farming, as introduced the most common composition worm, the European red wiggler. He claimed this worm absorbed toxic metal and poison groundwater and soil. What are the advantages of zero budget natural farming? Promotes the better agroeconomic practice. The zero budget natural farming method promotes soil aeration, minimum watering, intercropping, burns, topsoil mulching, discourage intensive irrigation, deep ploughing, smart and farmer friendly also. Particularly smallholder farming is economically viable, enhancing the farm biodiversity and ecosystem, reduce cost to the farmer, reduce while simultaneously increase income and restoring the ecosystem health and multi-layered cropping system. Efficient use for cow dung. Cow dung from local cow has proven to be a miraculous cure to revive the fertility of nutrient value. 1 gram of cow dung is believed to have anywhere between 300 to 500 crore benefit microorganism. This microorganism dried biomass on the soil converted into ready to use. environment friendly. Zero budget natural farming require only 10% water, 10% electricity. Chemical and organic farming may improve the potential of crop to adopt the produce by evolving climate condition. A limited study in Andhra Pradesh claim a sharp decline. So, however, reports also suggest that many farmers, including Mr. Palekar, native Maharashtra, have reverted to conventional farming after seeing return drop after a new year. So, increasing farmer income, including some expert within the policy planning, this think tank Niti Aayog and needed the green revolution, self-sufficiency, ensure food security model without sufficient proof that yield. So Sikkim, which has been some decline in yield following a conversion to organic farmers, use an cautionary tale regarding the pitfall of abandoning chemical fertilizer. Now, sufficient research to assess the long-term impact. The center sanctioned the proposal of 8 states for support under Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Andhra Pradesh is the biggest ambitious land zero budget natural farming. Chhattisgarh is second and Gujarat is third. The government has said proposal being implemented under the scheme would be used to showcase the benefit of the method. First is Andhra Pradesh, second is Chhattisgarh, third is Gujarat. The Prime Minister is said to promote this benefit, provide more details on the strategy to implement a validatory session, summit agro and food processing with a focus on natural farming. Anand Gujarat, over 5,000 farmer. So far as scientific validation is concerned, all eyes are focused on Indian Council of Agriculture Research conducting a study method practiced by basmati and wheat, and Kurukshetra evaluating impact, productivity, economic, soil health, including the soil organic carbon, soil fertility. Agriculture Secretary study needed at least 3 years. So India reject UNSC draft on climate. United Nations Security Council, which would effectively bring climate change in Security Council. This would have allowed UNSC to enforce and hold countries accountable for their promise to mitigate global warming. The proposal was proposed by Niger and Ireland, who claim 113 countries, which include Permanent Security Council, US and UK. France backed their view to integrate climate-related security risks into UNSC conflict prevention. However, after a heated debate and a strong counter by India, the proposal was vetoed by Russia, recorded like 2 against as per the absentees from the China. So what is that? India rejected the UNSC climate draft and UNSC to enforce and hold country accountable. Proposal was sponsored by Niger and Ireland, who claim 113 countries, which include Permanent Security Council members US, UK, France, backed by a view to integrate climate-related security. But after a heated debate, a strong counter by India, the proposal was vetoed by Russia and 2 against as a absenteeism from the China. Russia and China was not there, and Russia even proposal was vetoed. So why the sponsor keen to introduce climate change into the UNSC mandate? Climate change has been discussed at UNSC and several UNSC statements reference the impact of global warming on conflict. Both Niger and Ireland pointed out the people in the country most vulnerable to climate change are also most vulnerable to terror and violence, attempting to connect the UNSC mandate on peacekeeping. It said climate-related conflict over arable land, food security, desertification, forced migration, increase in climate refugee due to global warming would all eventually lead to conflict. According to report, Peace Research Institute (CIPRI), UN peacekeeping operations are located in country ranked as the most exposed to climate change. Some commemorate flavors said UNSC passed resolution on women, peace, security, that gender violence in conflict really entered the debate and hope that could do the same for climate. The UNSC mandate peacekeeping, climate-related conflict over arable land, and climate refugee due to global warming would all eventually lead to conflict, and UNSC needs weightage on it. According to report, Peace Research Institute (CIPRI), ongoing UN peacekeeping operations are located in country and gender violence and conflict really entered. So Niger representative said Security Council could pass a resolution on the COVID-19 pandemic and health security. Why could climate security not be addressed? India's stand on the proposal is consistent with desire not to allow the UNSC to broad a mandate to intervene and overreach on sovereign issue. While UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which held COP20 Glasgow, called the voluntary contribution to battle climate change, promote sustainability. India believes these are no issue where UNSC should interfere. India reiterated that it is second to none on keeping its climate commitment and fighting for climate justice. It would be misleading to view conflict through the prism of climate change worldwide. India even suggested that it would support a more limited draft that focus exclusively on Sahel region of North Africa, where desertification of arid areas directly sparking water-related conflict, but this was not considered, and India then recorded its first negative vote in this term. The Chinese representative also said UNSC should only consider security risks driven by climate change country by country or situation by situation. Given the strong support the proposal has received and numerically small opposition from Russia and India, it is unlikely that the issue will go away, and it is only a matter of time before America, European Union, Africa and Latin America country some together proposal to introduce climate change Security Council to current proposal is a revised version of draft of Germany. According to the bakers, the real objective is to ensure that UNSC considered the impact of climate change along with the cause of conflict. So, those oppose it, which includes 80 countries, say bringing climate change into a already polarized Security Council towards between US, the UK, and France versus Russia, China will only deepen divisions. So, as one of the most populous country in the UNSC at present, the representing a region that is still highly exposed to the risk of climate change, India's voice will be important in deciding debate between the securitizing climate change and ensuring the global peacekeeping body. Now next is geography, Dam Safety Bill and Tamil Nadu objection. What is Dam Safety Bill and why Tamil Nadu objection on that? The Dam Safety Bill was passed by Parliament and amid strong objection from opposition, which is passed by Lok Sabha. So the opposition sought that is sent to the Parliamentary Standing Committee for further scrutiny. However, a motion to this effect was defeated in House. The bill proposed to help all the state and union territory adopt uniform dam safety procedure, attempt to provide for surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of specified dam for prevention and dam failure related to disaster, and to provide the institutional mechanism to ensure their safe functioning and for matter connected incidental thereto. A National Committee for Dam Safety, Chairman, Central Water Commission, maximum 10 representative of central government in the rank of Joint Secretary, maximum of 7 representative and 3 expert. A State Dam Safety Organization, there is a chairman, 10 representative for center, maximum 7 for the state and 3 expert. A dam safety organization will be formed as which will responsible for the dam safety. This organization empowered to investigate and gather data for proper review and study the various features of design, construction, repair and enlargement of dam. The state dam safety organization must also report events such as dam failure to the National Dam Safety Authority and also maintain records of major dam incident. The National Dam Safety Authority, to be headquartered in Delhi, will be formed under Act. It will be headed by the officer not below the rank of Additional Secretary to Government of India to deal with problems relating to dam safety. Most of dams in India are constructed and maintained by the state, while some of the bigger dams are managed by autonomous body, Damodar Valley Corporation and Bakhra Nagal Corporation. The centre has represented Dam Safety Bill against the bedrock of 5200 large dam in India, about 450 dam construction. Due to lack of legal and institutional architecture for dam safety in India, dam safety is the issue of concern. Unsafe dams are as hazard and dam break many cause of disaster, leading to huge loss of life and property. However, during the deliberation by the centre collect feedback from states on the bill, then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha had raised question on this bill. Tamil Nadu has argued that the bill was detrimental to federal principle and power of the state government. Tamil Nadu alleged that it contained clause which violate the right of state, especially with respect to dam constructed by it. It is neighboring state and will cause problem in maintenance and operation. The main concern of the state is about retaining its power and controlling the dam autonomy and ownership. Tamil Nadu has said the move was nothing but authorization absurd the right of the state government without regard to the democratic parliamentary ethos. So in the country where most of the dams are built, operated, maintained and owned by the state government, the impact of act remain to seen when long pending dispute arise. Next is hypersonic weapon arm race. So chief tested a nuclear capable hypersonic mission circled the globe before speeding towards its target, demonstrating an advanced space capability. So however China has denied, but they are maneuverable weapon that can fly at speed in exceed Mach 5 times the speed of sound. Ballistic missile much faster.
अब आप एक्सेल का काम आसानी से अपने फोन से कर सकते हैं लियो के साथ।